Blog Talk Radio.
Okay, this your boy Big T from Extreme Sports. Tell you about all our shows right here on Extreme Radio. You can catch us on www.spreaker.com/user/BIGGTYML72. You can also catch me, your boy Big T, Extreme Sports, featuring your boys King C's, Marvin Smack, LC, E-Dub. You can also catch my boy J Real for J Real Hip Hop Show, playing all the local artists around the world right here on Spreaker.com. You can also catch my girl Tanya Staley on Political Nation right here on Spreaker.com. Catch Extreme Radio all on the major apps: iHeartRadio, YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, Castbox app, SoundCloud app, all the major apps around the world. Don't forget, your guys, Extreme Radio, www.spreaker.com/user/BIGGTYML72. And you also catch us by calling in at 919-335-3988. Your boys at Extreme Radio.
J. Boo.
Good morning, you guys. Guess who's back? It is your fabulous host, Miss Jamila. I am sorry I've been out of the picture. Well, let me tell you about that. Allergy season, my bad, was really rough for me. I was congested for about a month. Then I went back home to see my family, and I came back worse than what I was. So I was always congested. So now I can actually breathe a little through my nose. I am back. As you know, I always have one of my favorite co-hosts with me. And you should already know who that is. My wonderful and loving husband, Mr. LC. What is up?
What's going on, everybody?
What's going on, LC? You miss me?
Not a whole lot.
You didn't miss me a whole lot?
Glad to get the show back on the road again.
Yeah, I didn't say that. I said, did you miss me?
Hey, everybody. How y'all doing out there?
You see, a second time you ignored my question. Answer the question. Huh?
What?
What? Nothing.
What you say?
You heard what I said.
Of course I miss you.
I know you did. But I get to come on your show and co-host. But anyways, back to the main topic, you guys. I'm doing something a little different today. Oh, my bad, y'all. It's the computer chair. I need some WD-40. Do something a little different today. You know, I talk about success with businesses, books, people doing, good stuff in the community. I never really talk about a successful marriage. You don't see too many people talking about that, so that is what I'm going to talk about today. What you think about that, LC?
It's good. We got a couple coming on that has, I want to say 8 years of marriage, and they're young. It's a young couple. So, we only 2 years, about to be 2 years in, so we'll get to learn some tips that can help us along the way. So I'm excited about that, to hear what they have to say, because they are actually younger than we are, and they got 8 years in. And I noticed that I believe that if you get married at a young age, it's harder to maintain that marriage. So I'm actually excited to hear what they have to say.
Me too. Because like my husband just said, y'all, be 2 years next month, July 22nd, and it actually takes a lot of work for a marriage that's just beginning or a marriage that's have more years in. So I think that's very important, to keep a good marriage. So what do you think about us since we're already 2 years in, almost 2 years in?
Well,
Go ahead and say something. I dare you. I go ahead and say something because you said, nothing.
It's about time for the callers to call in.
It's about time, but matter of fact, they right on time.
Hey.
Ain't no hey, nothing. We're going to finish this conversation. Hello, caller. Are you there?
Yes, I am. I'm trying to figure out what conversation y'all about to finish.
Wait a minute, Dexter.
Thank you, Dexter, for calling in. You calling at the right time.
No, you're not, Dexter. I'm the host.
Boy, that's my cousin right there. He's perfect.
He perfect. Yeah, he my cousin too. But wait a minute, Dexter.
I don't did something I shouldn't have been in.
Right, Dexter. So now you about to jump in it. Before I even get to y'all, I talk about a successful marriage. Since we only been married almost 2 years, I asked him, "How has it been?" You think I got an answer yet?
Huh?
Dexter, don't say nothing because I will hang up.
I ain't said that. Repeat that question again. I want you to repeat because I just wanted to catch you with my wife.
Okay. I said we've been married only almost 2 years. And I asked him, how has it been thus far?
Chauncey, save yourself, brother.
Oh, you call in, man. So we got to go ahead and
No, we don't. We got a few minutes.
We can't postpone the show like that.
We got a few minutes.
It's been wonderful, man. It's been wonderful. I got to mess with her. It's been wonderful. It's been wonderful.
You want to sleep on the couch tonight?
It ain't been. Well, we'll get more into it once we start talking with you all.
Great save.
Great save. Don't start it. Please do not start it because I feel you might sleep on the couch tonight.
Are you going to sleep with?
But anyways, you guys, I am going to get into the show. I'm not going to hold you all up long. So, how long have y'all been married?
About 8 years.
Oh. About 8 years. Who are they? So, I forgot y'all, I did something really bad, backwards. This is Dexter Acklin. He is the minister of mine, and his wife, Brittany Acklin of Humble Bakes. Good morning, you guys.
Good morning.
Morning.
How are you?
Splendid.
Good. So now I got that out the way. Y'all been married for 8 years. What has it been like?
Oh, man, pure hell.
That's
man.
For you tonight.
Well, I done lost all my masculinity, and she does everything. No, it has its times. I say that it does. Every marriage has its time, and we experienced that, early, and in the latter parts. But what we will say is the times that we experience like that, those hard times, the hardships, whether it's financial, whether it's communication, whether it's spiritual, whatever the case may be, the key element that helped us get through a lot was keeping God first and loving one another with an agape love. Because sometimes we can get to the point where we don't like our partner.
Sure don't.
Sure don't.
Hold on, Brittany. You said that mighty fast.
Thank you, Brittany. I love you for that. You got that right. Because, boy, sometimes, oh, my gosh.
Hey, look, we get up like our mate sometimes. So, but that love for Christ, because that's what keeps us together. That love for Christ, our commitment to Him, will feel our commitment to our wives and our spouses. So, I think that's the key element. Without that, it's hopeless.
There's no marriage if you don't have that foundation.
That's right. If you do have that marriage, you have a legitimate one. Because how are you going to be married without the person who instituted it in the first place? Why not question and ask him to lead and guide? So I think that's been our major thing. And I know if a lot of other people, they say the same things, but I can personally, attest with our testimonies, that has been our major thing. As long as we have, stay committed to Christ, we stay committed to one another. As soon as that go out the door, I mean, it's hopeless at that point. So you got to have some checks and balances in marriage. My wife, she's been my check. Brittany, she's quiet. She's a quiet-spirited woman. That don't mean she don't open her mouth. That means she just opened it at the right time.
What? Wait, get the phone up. That don't sound right. No, go ahead.
A lot of people will say, your wife is quiet. You probably just talk all the time, and she don't never say no. No, my wife is not quiet. She's quiet at spirit, meaning she's not out there. She's not rah drama oriented type thing. But whenever she has something to say, whenever she feels it, in her heart to say something, she's gonna say it. So she speaks at the right time. Her words are very well chosen. That's what I meant when I said that. So she's a woman where her words are very intentful. So she's my check, and sometimes she be trying to check me a lot, like here lately. So
what? Give me the phone.
What's going over there?
Ask me a question.
Good morning, Brittany.
Okay.
Okay, I'll talk to you now since Dexter did some wrong talking. So, how has it been like for you thus far?
It's been interesting. Marriage is definitely a journey, and it's not for the faint of heart. And if you don't have the right mindset about marriage, then you're just not going to make it. Example, thinking that marriage is only a contract or a piece of paper, that's just not the right mindset coming into a marriage where you have to join your life with another person's life. Marriage is more deeper than that. It's a spiritual bond that you have to take. It has to take place, and you're meshing in your personalities, your family backgrounds. If you have kids together, your kids, blending in family. If you have kids coming in, just different attitudes and all that. It's your entire life, and you can't. It's not for the faint of heart, and you just can't come in here. Come into marriage thinking that it's all about, roses and strawberries, and thinking that you're just going to be in love and in Disneyland every day. Sometimes you get mad with each other. Sometimes people get sick. And sometimes you just don't want to deal with it. And you definitely have to be open and learning your partner. So.
Right. I definitely learned mine.
So, Brittany and Dex, I picked you two guys, and it was some other couples that I'm working on to try to get on the show as well. And when I thought about this, I thought about younger people that's been married, 8, 10 plus years. I know getting married at a younger age is a little bit harder to maintain that marriage when you're younger than it is when you're older. To me, it is. Because I feel like when you're older, most of the time when you're older and you get married, you kind of done establish who you are. But when you're younger, you get married, you're still trying to figure out who you are. And then you marry, you have that wife and that husband that you're trying to figure out who they are. And it makes things a little bit harder to just maintain that marriage. And you all have 8 years. What is one thing that you can give out to people that you can say, this is what got us 8 years in?
I definitely can attest that is our testimony. We did get married at a young age, and then coming into that, We were both young. I believe I was 22, about to turn 23 when I first got married, and Dexter was 25. And like you said, I did not know fully. I wasn't at the peak of knowing who I was. I'm still on a journey finding out who I am. And Dexter correct me. He said you were 24. Like that changing thing. But anyway.
Right.
But no, seriously, like it's like you said, it's hard because you come to realize that what you liked before when you guys first started dating, as you grow older and you begin to change, especially if you're living for Christ, God's changing you, you figure out that you don't like the same things anymore. And some of the things that your spouse does really turns you off. And that's where you have to find a common ground and a balance where you just come to and you be open with your spouse about where you are at in your life right now, and what can we do to continue growing together. Because one thing my husband made it very clear, he wasn't going anywhere, and he wanted to let me know that as much time as I need to figure out what I have to do, who I am, where do I have to go, it means at school, what career I have to do, he's going to be right here. And I think you need to come in thinking like that there's no out, that we're committed, we're intentional about being together and setting the standard of, making this a lifetime commitment. And so as long as you have that already established, then I'm not going to say it's going to be easy going through situations, because it's definitely not. But it makes the process worthwhile, because you know that individual has your best interest at heart and is going to be there with you. So, but we've definitely been through that struggles up to recently. Me starting my business and him doing a ministry, we kind of had to mesh that kind of together, because it's like, what's it mean for us in the future? How are you going to go traveling and I do this? So I don't know. It's hard work, but you have to be intentional about being committed, not just only to each other, but to God. And in order to have a really successful marriage, you have to have a great relationship with Christ. And we try, make that known that, you can't make it without Christ, regardless of what you're trying to do in this life. He has the world in his hand. He's the creator. And if he's creating everything, why not go to him to fix the problem, or go to him to get the answers? And that's what we try to attest our marriage to. Because best believe, if we won't say, I'd probably be somewhere in the street, poke my leg out, stomach for right.
Not you, Brittany. Stop it.
Not my Brit. I'm so quiet.
Yeah, that Brittany.
Hey, Dexter. Brittany kind of touched up on it with her having her business and you doing your mine. I know it's been plenty of times where you all traveling or she's out doing her thing. You don't really have that quality time as much as it was before. What is it that you all do now to make sure that quality time is there? And what I mean by quality time is where you two, just spend time together, or a date night, or something of that sort.
One of the major areas that we had to buckle down in, and it would sound simple when I say it, but it's harder than what it seems, and that's scheduling. And normally you hear people say, well, that should come naturally. But when you get to the dynamics of ministry, you got dynamics of a business, you have a dynamic of kids and your regular 9 to 5 or whatever you're working, and then you have different family issues or different, you still talk with your different family. You have people that you have to go see, and then through all of that, you have to cultivate you and her. You have to schedule. You have to become a master of the pen or a master of your calendar and your phone. You have to make that time. I would share this, and she knows that I didn't mind doing it, but I would share this. I had an event that somebody wanted me to go to for Shirley Caesar, but it's the same weekend of our anniversary. Well, that weekend of our anniversary, we went out to Raleigh. We just went out to eat, but it was just me and her. It was so nice. And at first, in my mind, this is what the devil put it. At first, in my mind, like, man, that's Shirley Caesar. What in the world? Why are you gonna turn this down? You already been there a couple of times, and you can go there again, man. This is an opportunity of a lifetime. It ain't gonna come back around. You can always reschedule. You know, you can go out next weekend. But me and her just had that talk a couple of months before that, and we made the decision we need to make more time for us. And so that was already in stone. So I had to call the guy back, and I told him, I said, I can't make it because me and my wife celebrating our anniversary. After I talked to him and told him that, you know what this guy said? He said, absolutely no problem. Happy anniversary to the both of y'all. He said, we'll get back up together soon. Long story short, I'll be at Shirley Caesar Church this Sunday.
Thank God. Good.
If you take care of family, and this is my point, you take care of family, you're not missing anything. You're not missing. God will restore those opportunities where you think it's not going to be restored. He will restore that. The only thing he requires you to do is take care of family, take care of the home, because that is the qualification of operating in ministry. You know, a man that takes care of his home, he serves his household well, he rules his household well. If you can't rule your household when it comes to a schedule and making time for you and your wife, how are you gonna make scheduling time enough that's good for him and his church? You have to be a master in that area. You have to show that you're a good steward. And if I can't make time for my wife, but I can stay in church and I can fellowship with everybody else, then basically I'm cheating on my wife with the church. But that's Christ's job. You know, the bride of Christ is the church. He takes care of his wife. And we do too, but it's not to the extent that he does. So our job, if we're married, is first and foremost to our households. That's where it goes. And he had to kind of restructure my mind, and he did that through my wife. She came to me, she sat down, and she just told me, she said, we got to do more. You know, we got to schedule this time. We need us time. So when your mate comes to you, don't get prideful, man. Don't get stubborn. And it's very tempting to you. Like, man, I'm doing this for the church, and the Lord been blessing us, and you can come tell me that we need to do this. It's very easy to get in that mode, but stop and listen. Think about it. Pray about it. And make the necessary decisions to make sure that you and her are okay. Because the worst thing you could ever do is to go pursue something that you think God has his hand on, and you forget about home, and he takes his off of it. And you don't want that. So take care of home. He's not gonna let you go. He's not gonna let you go lacking. You know, anything that he has for you is still gonna be there. But he requires us as husbands to make sure that home is taken care of, and that's just not provided. That's social issues, emotional issues, communication, teaching of the household. All that stuff comes into play when it says the household. It's a holistic approach. It's just not provided. Just because you bring in money, make you a good husband. So, and he's restructuring my mom, and he's restructuring a couple of other things that he's showing me too. So, but the wife is a very intricate role in that. When she brings something to you, value her, because you never know how it may play a role to your blessing down the road. And plus, she's there to help you. She's your helpmeet. She's the one right beside you. So don't neglect her voice because that's your wife. Encourage it. You know, she speaks up, listen. You know, she's a pearl. She's a diamond in the rough. And if you got a diamond to you, listen to it. You know, listen to that diamond. So that's what I'm doing. I'm opening my ears more to what my wife is saying. If I don't care how many years you get in, you should always be learning how to communicate better. Always. Whether it's going to a seminar, going counseling, whether it's you and her talking, it doesn't matter. Just always make sure you get better. That's what I can say that got us through these 8 years. You know.
Hey, babe, did you take notes of what Dexter just said? I mean, before we even just wait a minute before you even say anything, did you take notes about what Dexter just said? Listen to your wife. Did you hear that part?
Hey, Brittany.
You know what? And ouch.
Brittany, on the next question is, would you want to get married?
Say what?
See how you just skipped my question?
What made her want to get married?
Well, I didn't have no job site. Let me stop. Just simply, she did laugh a little bit. Be quiet.
I did laugh.
Just simply the fact that I loved them, and I knew I wanted to make this thing right. And but like both of us, we were both young, and we, in our mind, we just believed that we weren't going anywhere. So why not just go ahead and make it right? And my motto is, if you don't know if you want to be married to somebody after a year or two, then you might as well just leave that person alone. So, but I really loved them, and I wanted to do the things that we always talked about dreaming of together and making it happen. And that's the reason for me being married. What's your reason, Dexter Akron?
I'm Brittany because there's a statistic that shows that if you eat a dark chocolate a day, it's great for your heart. What? So I figured that my heart would be great at the age of 70. And so far it's been working, y'all. Dark chocolate is good.
I guess that's the same way for us.
I can always count on you. I can always count on you. Boy.
That's the same way for us. I'm caramel. My husband's dark chocolate, so you know what that means. So by the time I hit 70, damn.
I am a girl. No, but when I met Brittany, man, I was coming out of a relationship where me and this girl was talking about getting married. Well, she up and left because she wanted to pursue one of her careers in New York. So I was second. You know, I got pushed to the side. But I still love this girl. So when she got to New York, communication kind of got real stank, and we ended up going our separate ways. But in the midst of all of that, we had a mutual friend. Me and Brittany had a mutual friend. And I didn't know Brittany at the time, but I met her friend through miming. So, and she said, well, Dexter, I got a friend you can talk to. I was like, man, I ain't trying to get with none of y'all crazy girls from Green Central. I know they kind of crazy. And she was like, no, my friend is just like me. She's really nice. She's very pretty. She's like, I can show you a picture. I was like, all right. So she showed me a picture. And immediately I was like, yes, hook that up. Hook that up right now. So we got hooked up on the phone. We talked for about 2 months before we even met each other. I finally met her at a talent show, and we only spoke a little then. But the following Sunday, I believe, was the following Sunday we went to church. Mm-hmm. That following Sunday we went to church in Snow Hill, and we sat and we talked. And I spent a little bit more time with her. So, you know, I started coming to pick her up, and I noticed something about Brittany. One, yes, she was fresh out of high school, but two, she had the mindset even back then. You know, if I'm rocking with somebody, I'm rocking with them. Well, we was in the mall, right? And her friends and all of us was in the mall, and that she could have easily gone down there with her friend and looked in the store and go walk around the mall. But I went to Verizon Wireless to check out a new plan, and she stayed right with me. She put her arm around my arm, and she stayed right with me. She laid her head on my shoulder. I was like, you know, your friend, you know, they went down, you know, in the store. She was like, I know, but I'm going to stay here with you. And I figured if you could do that for somebody that you just met, what would it be like if you knew me for a couple of years? And sure enough, once we started rocking with each other, she showed me she was loyal. You know, she was faithful. And she was a great communicator. And her mind is out of this world. That was something that intrigued me, too. She was a psychology major. So a lot of things that she looked at it from a psychological point of view. And it would kind of give me, you know, one of them spurts like, man, I didn't know she could think like that. Well, what you think about this? And she would give me her insight, and I was like, man, her mind is beautiful. So it just brought, you know, shed a light to the rest of us. So, and then after we got married, I really started piecing everything together. She showed me signs when we was married or when we were dating of what I wanted in a wife. I knew what I wanted, but I didn't know I had it, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. I knew it was led. When we got married, I looked back at a lot of things that took place when we were dating, and I was like, man, I was dating my wife. That is beautiful. Now I'm married to my wife. That is beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. And I've been knowing her ever since she was 17. So we've been knowing each other for over 10 years. So, actually 12 years, ain't it? Yeah, we've been knowing each other for over 12 years. So it wasn't one of the things when we met each other and just got married off the bat. You know, we dated for 4 years. So I really got to know the ins and outs of her, what she thinks, what she don't like, what she does like, what she accept, what she won't accept. And, you know, it just brought me around that this woman right here is one of the rare jewels that you never find anywhere. So why go around the world trying to search and see if you can find better? Because I knew I couldn't get better. And we just went ahead and mutually locked that down. And then to make matters worse, y'all, I found out this girl can cook. Oh, God.
That's why you got that belly now, Dexter.
Yeah, she the reason. You're right. She is the reason. She is the reason. And I'm telling you, when you get all that in a package, and it's almost like having your grandma in a new millennial type body. And it's something that you're like, man, I'm serious. You think about it. You look how the statue that your grandma is, or your mother is, or whoever that you admire, and you're like, man, I want that in a wife. And then God give it to you, but in a new light, or a new image. You like, you know what? God has been too great. I'm not gonna sit here and pass up on this blessing. It was sort of like that. So, and I saw it, and I took the chance, and me and her both sat down, and we mutually agreed that we're gonna lock this thing down together. It was intentional. It wasn't by happenstance. We debated this out. We thought it out. We thought it through, and we both do not regret the decision that we made. And me personally, I don't regret the day that I met Brittany Ackland.
You know what? Y'all are awesome. That, you know, like when me and Chauncey first got together, it's actually him pursuing me. And we lived in... You said what?
I know. He was on you.
You said what?
He was on you. He was on you. That guy, he came out in the morning, he lifted his nose up in the air. He said, I smelled your milk. Got to go get her.
I think it's time to close the show now.
No, it's not. We just getting started. But like this, you know, Dexter is like was the opposite way around. Chauncey pursued for a good amount of time. So I said, okay, I finally gave in. I said, okay, we can meet up, not knowing that we were only a couple hours away from each other. So, you know, that's when, you know, it was really put to the test, because literally every day he would get off work and he would drive to Virginia. Literally every day, every weekend, even if it was just to spend time with him for a day and a half. That actually made me feel more better about it, because he could have stayed home, got some rest, did what he wanted to do, but he actually wanted to spend time with me and the kids. So, you know, I'm like, okay, I kind of like him. But when he did it consistently, and I'm telling him, look, baby, you don't have to come every weekend. Just get some rest. No, I want to see you and the kids, even if it's just for a day. So ever since then, like I said, he pursued me first. I'm just saying that for the record. Don't smack your lips. You know it's the truth. But here's the funny thing about it. I didn't know we were friends on Facebook, so I went out for my birthday or whatever, and he didn't post anything. He said, call me, and sent me his number. And ever since then, bam. So it's been about, I'm 32 now, so
4 years. No.
Look, I'm counting. Shut up.
4 years.
Shut up. Still counting.
See what I gotta go through?
Yeah. Wait a minute. Yeah, because I met him a year after I had surgery. So yeah, it's been 4 years. My bad. Hush.
I got a question.
What?
Yeah. All right. So even with y'all being in 2 years, and I know how it was when we were first married, with 2 years in. So let me ask you this question so we get down to the nitty gritty. Once you got married, what are some of the negative aspects that was presented to you after you got married, whether it be from you or her, whether it be from family, whether it be from job or whatever? What were some of the negative aspects that you had to mesh with once you got married?
Go ahead, my answer ain't ready yet.
For me, man, which is actually going to be my next question to you all, but for me, it was family.
Mm-hmm.
The whole while that we dated, it was like her family didn't really like me.
Mm-hmm.
In some cases, that may have been true, but you just get that vibe, like, man, I'm around these people, they ain't really caring too much for me. But I'm not out here to marry them. I got to be with you, so we have to make it work. And that was the biggest thing, man. I'm like, I didn't want her to lose her family,
Mm-hmm.
just to be with me. So that was the main thing. That was that was the biggest thing right there for me, was family.
So my answer to that as well, it was, it was my family. But like I told him, I'm rocking with you, so I really don't care what they say. At the end of the day, yes, that's still my family. But the love I have for him is beyond anything in this world. And if the fact that you can't accept that I'm with him or you don't like him, you need to suck it up, because whether you like it or not, I'm still going to be with him at the end of the day. And I'm going to marry him. So, and if you couldn't accept that, I really couldn't care. I wouldn't care less if you were my family or not. So, like, that was the biggest issue. And, my issue was I didn't get to see him enough, if that makes sense. All I wanted, and the time, like, all I wanted was just to see him. And, it was just hectic because he was always working. And by the time I saw him, it was the weekend. And, it was the weekend. So when we got engaged, nobody knew. So, like, my family was really upset that you didn't tell us. I said it was none of your business until I knew that this is what I wanted. And then when I knew what I wanted, you still wasn't going to know because it's none of your business. So it's like you said, my family, they're paying. And regardless of that, I still, I still said yes without you knowing. I still was with him before y'all knew. So, yeah, I kept it quiet for about a year and a half, 2 years pushing it. So by the time they knew about him, we was engaged.
Right.
But I wouldn't change it for the world. But other than that, marriage has been great. Almost 2 years in, I ain't smacking yet, Dexter.
Hey, keep going.
Keep going? Yeah.
Keep going.
But, God, huh?
You were a great guy, so you good. It'd be something if you was with a woman beater or a disrespectful guy, but you were a good dude, so you'd be all right.
I know, and so many people of his side of the family is like, you're with Chauncey, so you ain't got to worry about him doing nothing out the way because he's not going to entertain foolishness. If he's with you, he's with you wholeheartedly and all the way.
That's right.
So, you said what?
His name hold weight. Like, if his family tell you, like, when they just said it, I know exactly. It was probably Pete that said that. I don't know who said it, but it probably was Pete. If he tell you, or any of the family over there, they tell you, they say, man, you with Chauncey. They end it like that because, some of the cousins can be kind of brutal. Let's go ahead and put that out there. I got family that can be kind of brutal. So, but they're letting you know you with Chauncey, meaning you with the good one. This guy, he gonna make sure you taken care of. He gonna treat you like a queen. Some of the chicks that he had, we was like, man, kick her to the curb. But still, ins and outs come. But he held it down like he was supposed to. He did what he's supposed to, and he's gonna do that with you also. So that's how they knew. They was like, well, you with Chauncey. Now, had he been, running the mill guy off the street, doing crazy stuff when you met him, they wouldn't have said nothing to you. You've just been another person on the street that came in that's going to leave in a couple of years maybe. But it wasn't like that. They looked at you and it was like, man, you with Chauncey. That it says a whole lot when somebody, put your name out there like that. It holds a lot of weight. And when you got to know him, you understood why. If he down for you, he down for you.
You're right, and the family was like, I wasn't like his previous relationship. I was different in a sense as, me and him living in two different states, but, I made it work for the fact that I knew I loved him already for the fact that he actually committed himself every day and every weekend to spend time with me and the kids, even if he didn't have to. So when his family finally met me and they put the face to the voice and the picture, they was like, yeah, you were a good kid. And, you still have some cousins that say, oh, yeah, Chauncey this, Chauncey was talking to somebody. I say, but at the end of the day, I'm not that past relationship because, they were, like you said, they can be brutal. And, he messed with this and this and the third. But, Chauncey, he's not into the streets. And, once you're with him, you're with him. And, it's a lot.
It's a lot. You ain't going nowhere.
No, I'm not. No. Maybe to my room. And, whenever he get on my nerves, I keep him out the room. But other than that, we're still together. I love him more than I did yesterday or when we first got married. And, marriage is not easy. It has its good parts. It has its down parts. It has its sad times. It has its happy times.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I look at it. What do you think, man?
What you just said. I mean, it's all about reactions. It's how you react to it.
Mm-hmm. And
Brittany, and you are married. You are now 3 wonderful boys.
Any girls?
Having kids.
She said that too quick. She said that a little too quick.
Mm-hmm. That's one of them incidents where you say Brittany is quiet, but she speak when she need to speak.
That was right there.
Yeah. Just put the point right in. But y'all have 3 boys now, and I know having kids can put a strain on a relationship sometimes. How has it been so far with you all?
It's been challenging because here you're dealing with 3 individuals who look to you on how a relationship works. So you're their first example. And at the same time, you have your own individual thoughts and feelings. You go through personal stuff that you don't sometimes bring home to your husband or your wife. So you just deal with it. And the kids see it all. So for me, I'm a stay-at-home mom. So I had the privilege of raising my kids since they were born and staying home with them. And it was a challenge because I believe I didn't have the social interaction with other adults. And so it started affecting my identity. All I constantly was doing was the everyday busyness of everyday life. Do chores, pick up the kids, cook, clean, do what you need to do just to get the day going. And I never had a chance to just breathe and really think. So it affected how I looked at my husband because I was like, well, dag, it was like a kind of resentment. I have to stay home while you go out and you pursue or you have interaction with other adults. So what was important for me was to have a conversation with him so that I didn't become resentful or bitter towards him, because we both had these kids together, and we both made the decision. Well, I made the decision I wanted to stay home, and he said okay. But we both, did this decision together, and you can't just backtrack off of a plan just because you're in your feelings. So, but raising 3 black men, especially in this day and time for us, is very challenging because you have to monitor what they do, what they say, how they treat people, how they act, what they think, what they're putting in their minds, and it's just tough. You're raising miniature adults, and you have to be responsible for that. And when they grow up, they have to look back and say, who they mama and daddy? And it's us. So it's just one of those things where you have to just rely on God for and keep praying about it and not take everything too seriously, enjoy them while they're here, because before you know it, they'll be grown and out of the house, and it just be us. Hallelujah. But also, making that, making our moments and our seasons count, and making sure that we are interacting with each other while we're raising them, because we don't want to be those people where we get so busy into our kids that when they get over and they leave, which is what they're supposed to do, we don't have nothing in common anymore, because I done lost who I was and you doing your own thing. So that's what's very important to us.
Well, okay. Tell Dexter he had to be that loud.
Yeah, he just told kids shut up in the background.
That's I heard that real clearly.
Yeah, she said okay.
I heard that clear as day. Tell Dexter he's a little too loud. What advice, both of y'all, would y'all have for any married couple, such as ourselves or anybody else out there that's listening, that's 2 years in, 3 years in, for them, what advice would you give them?
First and foremost, God is the head. It should be the head of your marriage. Yes, God places the husband over the wife, but that's not for a subservient position. He places the head over the wife because it's in relation to how he should be placed in our lives. So as we take the orders or take the lead from Christ, or as we receive our marching orders from Christ and he passes it down the ladder, so shall we teach the household. He keeps order so that we can maintain the respect. So what I would say is get accustomed to how the Bible presents marriage. It's not in a defaming situation. It's not to, make you feel bad or, decrease your influence in a marriage. Every role in marriage has its advantages, and so don't think just because the husband is the head of the house, as Christ said, that means that the woman don't matter. That is not what he's saying. He did not mean it intentional like that, nor unintentional. God is an intentional God. So when he says it, it's for a specific reason. And what he means is, he wants marriage to reflect our relationship with him. That's what it's for. Him being the head as the same thing of the husband being the head of the wife. We're supposed to teach the household. That's what commandment he gave us. In the same way that God is supposed to teach us how to live right, how to live holy. Marriage is to produce holiness. That's what it's for. But we still have checks and balances. And we have to be each other's checks and balances. And we still have to be accountable to somebody. That's what that's for, to maintain respect and make sure that we stay in line. Marriage is not one of those things where men just dominate. That's why I want to put that out there very clear for anybody that's listening. Marriage is not a one-sided party. It takes three. It takes God, it takes you, and it takes that wife. If it's any other order, then you already hopeless. It's already done. It's already done gone down the drain. It has to be in right. It has to be in. So I think that's the very most important one. Then a lot of things with the couples coming in 2 to 3 years, the newbies, as you forestated before, every day would not be a bed of roses, okay? And let me just say this, for the real people out there, sex will not solve everything. It won't. Even though it's great, even though you have some great, awesome times with each other being married. Okay, get off. But not solve issues that are spiritual, okay? So some things can only be resolved by you sitting down, talking to your mate, or praying or fasting about it. You only come by praying and fasting. So in those times where, your body is raging and y'all got issues, make sure you take care of your issues first. That's one of my mistakes that I made. Make sure you take care of your issues first before you try to engage in your body. Because basically all it becomes is a self-pleasing thing, and only one party is getting pleased, not the other. So,
right.
And marriage is. So make sure you take care of your issues first. Don't go to bed, man. Try not to do that. Don't go to bed, man. And talk about everything. Everybody. Your body is not your body. His body is not his body. Everything belongs to each other. That single mindset cannot be carried into a marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And I hear a lot of people teaching it. You know, you better make sure you have this put to the side just in case that such and such should happen. You know, this can be your way out. When you get married, there should be no way out. The only way out that should be, it should be death. However, he does give us a disclaimer or a way out just in case that one party just get beside himself and they just want to act crazy, and that is infidelity. You know, that party, he or she, wants to get crazy and they just don't want to abide by the covenant, because that's what marriage is. It's a covenant. You don't want to abide by that. He tell I give you this way out just in case they do that. But just because also, that don't mean that God can't work from that. So whoever is in that position 2 to 3 years in that you're cheating, you know, and you really want to work it out, and your mate don't want to leave and you don't want to leave and you want to fix this, you can fix it. That don't mean you don't have to leave, but that don't mean you keep doing it either.
Mm-hmm.
Stop it. You talk to each other. Do what you got to do. But I just want to throw those out there because that is a misconception of people when they get married. And just because you have your finances in order, that don't mean your marriage automatically going to line up. I know very rich people that has the crummiest marriage, all because they think marriage is around money. So it has to be a holistic approach, people. You can't just go into it saying, well, I got God, he's going to take care of everything else. No. You got God, he's going to ask you to do some things too. He requires you to do work. God is not going to allow his kids to be lazy. We should allow our kids to be lazy. So just take that, and I hope it helped y'all. Make sure you're accountable to God and keep everything in the household nice and clean. And you'll start to understand, especially for y'all that have kids, your kids watch everything. They mimic everything. My boys mimic. Sometimes I come in the house and I will hug my wife and I get close to her face and we'll be talking, and my son Zayden will walk up and he say, "Kiss her, Daddy, kiss her," because he know that's one of my greetings for my wife when I come in. I kiss her. But he sees that. You know, he's already telling her, kiss mommy, because he knows it's right. So make sure that whatever image that you're presenting in the household, make sure it's a positive image because they're watching. Brittany, you have anything?
Great fit, communication.
Huh? Oh. Wow.
Did she say what I thought she just said?
What repeat it so the people hear it.
You have communication, be spontaneous, and have great sex. Key to great marriage.
You know what? You are all right with me.
What do you say?
I'm kind of. Is that Brittany talk?
Yeah.
I'm confused over here, ain't? It's on the. Was that Brittany talking or somebody else over there talking?
Regardless of your side, regardless if you're a Christian or where you're both Christians in a marriage, sex is still an option. Hey, that's for y'all holy people out there. Cover your ears. But it's as real as it's going to get. Great sex, wonderful. But I think right, Dexter, great communication and being open with your partner is actually wonderful, and it's a good idea.
Yes, sir.
Brittany said it first, though.
I was gonna lay off her because sometimes she say I'm too raw, so I hit and I touch on it, then I back off of it. But if we were ever getting a one-on-one session, you know, I talk to them, you know, so they can understand it, you know, get on that level. I wouldn't do anything vulgar, but you know, I want to make sure that you know that we're not putting a facade out there where you cannot attain the same things that you look at for us. You know, you're saying I want that. You know, you can attain this. It's just, here's the bad thing about marriage that I got sick and tired of. I was so sick of people putting on the facade thinking, you know, that marriage is perfect and marriage is a bed of roses. It's gonna be strawberries every day, and as long as you talk, everything is gonna be okay. But when I start talking to some real folks, and then I start going through this stuff, I kind of felt bamboozled because I was like, man, nobody told me about this. But then some real folks, they set me down. Look, man, there's going to be some days where you're not going to be able to get none. and you need to learn how to have self-discipline. You just need to learn it. Like when she get pregnant, them times you need to learn how to govern your body. That is not an excuse to cheat. Fellas, I'm talking to y'all now. When she get pregnant, if she has that baby, and she can't do anything for 6 weeks or more, depending on how she have it, look, it's not a time for you to go out and go get it for somebody else just because she can't do it right now. Okay?
All right.
You're trying to be faithful, to be supportive to her. That is your job. It's not about your feelings. Sometimes you have to put those down and have discipline. You know, just because you're married, that don't mean you can be getting it all the time. You're still supposed to have some type of discipline.
Right. Oh, yeah,
one more thing, I'm done. Okay. As it relates to fasting, because this is another question that people ask me at my job. As it relates to fasting, one guy told me, he said, my wife, she just going on a fast, you know. Like one night I rolled over, he said, man, and she said, no, I'm on a fast. And he said, man, I'm sick of the church. That's what he said. He said, I'm sick of the church because they always doing something with you. I can't do this because I'm on a fast. I can't do this on the fast. Well, Christ talks about that in the scriptures. Before you go on a fast, and wives, husbands and wives, and this is the reason why. Before you go on a fast, he tells us to consult our spouses. Get permission first. Go ahead and let them know. Because when you get married, you become as one. But when you go on a fast, you deny yourself and him so that you can go closer to God. So basically what you're doing is when you go on a fast, you divide yourself all over again. And you go back to God to get more strength. But then he gives us a remedy for that. As soon as you come off a fast, make sure you two are joined together so that you will not be tempted. So that's why I tell people sex is a spiritual act. It's not something that just makes you feel better. It ties your soul into one another. I don't know if you ever heard the term called soul ties, but that's what it does. It makes you one. It's for spiritual purposes and reproduction purposes. That's what sex is intended for. So if you're using sex for any other reason than that, then you're manipulating it. So you have to be responsible in what you're doing in your marriage as well as outside your marriage. Outside marriage, you shouldn't have sex. I'm going to put that out there too. You shouldn't have sex. You're not married. But and I think that's what we need to go back and teach it. Married couples need to teach other people that's not married, want to be married, save yourself.
Right.
Save it. Make sure you live for your husband or your wife. You want a strong marriage, teach self-discipline before you get married. Because if you come into a marriage with no self-discipline, that marriage can be ruined because of your lack of self-discipline. So make sure you get that before you get married. Self-discipline. And that's it for me.
You know that, sir. One of the biggest thing it is, man, is trying to find married couples that got positive remarks or positive comments on marriage. When I got engaged, man, I reached out to a lot of people, you know, just to get some advice, you know, which way to go. Everybody, except for one guy that I talked to, had nothing but negativity about marriage. Man, it was to the point where I was like, I don't know if I should get married now, man, because these guys, and it were females too, that they married, they still married, but they had nothing good to say about it. And then I went to this one guy and gave him an invitation to the wedding, and he said, man, let me talk to you a little bit. And he began to talk, and I'm like, man, I should have came to you first. Because I was doubting marriage now because everybody was talking negative about it. And he was the only one that gave me good feedback on it. And if it wasn't for him, man, I don't know if we would have been married now because people were just so negative about it. And I've seen marriage with my grandparents. I know how my grandparents were when they was married. They had a wonderful marriage. And I try to do things the way that my grandfather did my grandmother. And sometimes it's kind of hard because it's a different time frame now than the way he did things back in them days and the way things are done now. But man, it's good to have people that you can talk to that have positive things. Because I know relationship itself, any type of relationship, is not always going to be peachy and cream. I don't care if it's just a friendship or a relationship with the parents or brother and sister relationship. There always going to be some arguments, some days where you just, man, I'm just sick and tired of it. But when you get someone that is feeding you good advice or giving you good comments on it, remarks on it, they just got everything is just positive about it. And even though he said, he gave me some things that, this is what might happen if this and this happen. He gave me the ups and the downs. Right. And we need more people like that because, man, there's a lot of people that's trying to get married and they don't have that. They don't have people talking to them about what marriage really is. And sometimes people get confused on what marriage is. It ain't just, oh, man, I got a guy that's got good sex or a woman of good sex. I better marry her because that sex ain't going to make it in a marriage. That's right. If you don't have that communication, if you don't have, first and foremost, like you said, you definitely got to have God in it. God got to be first. He has to be guiding this marriage. Or if he ain't guiding it, then it ain't going to work.
All right.
That's right.
So, man, I really appreciate you and Brittany, man, because like I said before, y'all my favorite couple. And I know that y'all have y'all issues sometimes, maybe have some ups and downs, man, but when I see y'all, it's always a smile on y'all face. I don't never see you two, arguing and fighting and fussing and cussing. And I'm sure, there's some days you get on Brittany nerves. I'm sure. Yeah. It's a hard thing, man. We do that. It's a hard thing, man. We do that, man.
Right.
So, I know what happens, but seriously, man, when you got somebody, man, that's young and can give you good advice, that's wonderful. And that was the goal for the show, man, to just get young couples, young people that's been married 18 years and let them just tell you what it takes to, have a successful marriage.
Yeah. I actually agree with you on that. But, when we, like he said, when we first got engaged, this is my first engagement and my first marriage. And, I really didn't have nobody to look to because my grandma had passed right before I got married. And I used to always ask her about marriage. And she's like, baby, when you find someone, when he's the one. But let God, guide your marriage. And her and my granddaddy were married for like 30-something years, 40-something years before he had passed. But like you said, I'm hearing negative feedback on marriage. I'm like, I don't think I want to get married now. But it's not about what it's about what you feel. And if you feel that you want to get married, you give it your all. 100%. Marriage is not a 50-50 thing. I don't know where people get that from. It's 100% all the way. It's not half. If you give your half, that's what your spouse is going to get, half of your commitment. You need 100% commitment in your marriage. And I've learned that. So I have to give, I'm not going to give 50 or 75 or 85% of my marriage. I'm going to give you all of me. And that's how it's going to go. And some people misconstrue marriage as, it takes 50-50 to make a marriage work. No, it does not take 50-50 to take a marriage work. It takes 100%. In the story, it takes 100%. Don't have that because you're giving your spouse half of you. Your spouse don't want half of you. He or she wants all of you. 100% in. And I've learned that. I had to learn that on my own because I couldn't get no advice from my family because some of them, they've been in 2-3 marriages. I said, you don't give me no advice. I'm going to learn this on. And it's the truth. It's the truth. And like when me and Chauncey first got engaged, I ain't say nothing. You know what? I say, look, I'm going to just learn this on my own because I'm not going to my family because my brother already divorced. My other mama, everybody done got married like 2 or 3 times. So what advice can y'all give me? Okay, this marriage didn't work. Get out of it. I don't want to hear that type of advice. I want to hear what makes your first marriage and only marriage work, even through the hard times. And sometimes, Lord, that's your cousin make me want to smack him. Just saying. I love him dearly. I really do. and I love my husband more than life itself and through the depths of the ocean. But sometimes, yes, you will have your spouse that know how to push your buttons.
That's only when she can't get away. That's all that is.
Oh, shut up! Don't tell everybody that.
When she can't get away, that's when she mad. That's all that is.
But that's the only reason why. Let me go touch on that, Dexter. The reason why I can't get my way. Tell him why. Because Chauncey is always giving me anything I wanted before I ask. So I'm pretty much anything I want before I even ask. So when I do ask and I can't get it, it's his fault.
Oh, so you spoiled.
See, you heard it.
Very much.
You heard it.
Dexter.
Oh.
You heard it.
Look,
Dexter.
Hey, Chauncey created that beef.
Dexter.
It's my fault. I take the blame for
Spoiled.
Spoiled.
Dexter. When I say he is spoiled for me, he had put spoiled for me. He did this when we first got together. From the beginning to when I got married to after we got married, it was always I got it before I even asked for it. So when I really want something and I can't get it, yes, I do get an attitude because you started this. So you understand why I'm getting that. What you clapping for? It's your fault.
Hold on. Look, that's sort of a good problem to have because, you know, you experience what a lot of women don't, or a lot of marriages don't. You know, a husband going out of his way to make sure that anything that he could do within his power, you know, that his wife wants or needs, that he gonna make sure that she gonna have it. And I try to do my best to do the same thing. Now here's where it can get drastic. At the drop of a dime, if you ask him to do something where he knows that he's got to do something else, but he drops that and attends to you, and everything else breaks down, and this becomes a trend in your marriage, then it can come from being spoiled to being controlled. And that's where you don't want it to lead to. So being spoiled is one thing. Right now, he spoil you, and you want to keep it around that area. But where you don't want it to get at is if he know that he can't do it, and you realize it at the same time, all right, I could take the loss. You know, I may have an attitude, but I could take the loss because I know he's doing something. But when it gets to the point where you start degrading him and treating him, lose respect for him because he didn't do what you wanted him to do at that specific time, that becomes manipulation and it's a control thing. And that's the spirit.
Amen.
Shut up.
Amen.
Shut up.
So right now, you're in a good phase. That's like a good problem. That's great. Y'all, that is common to people who got it and want to get it, and then they don't get it at that time. That's common, you know. But it's not common when a woman wants or a man wants something that, you know, it could potentially hurt the whole household, and because that person says no, for the benefit of everybody, including that person that wants it, and when they say no, that person gets an attitude and start disrespecting him or starts treating that spouse or that spouse in a different way because they couldn't get it when they want to, that's a whole nother issue. That's manipulation. That becomes control, and that is witchcraft. So you don't want that to creep in. So as long as you're healthy
boy, you preaching up in here right now.
Wait a minute, Dexter. Let me go ahead and touch on that.
Might go put my shouting shoes on.
Yeah, you're going to shout right here on this ottoman. Hush your mouth. I have learned that. You still laughing. I have learned now that now we was in a relationship and versus where we're married now, I have gotten an attitude and, you know, I gotten over it. But I've learned now being married, and if my husband can't get me something, okay, no big deal. I might mope about it for a day, but I know we got other needs first. So I'll let it go. But, like, if he can do it, you know, he'll do it. But, as I stated, my husband started this.
It's like we always say about God. He don't always come when we call him, but he's on time. It's the same way, man. I don't always do it when she asks, but it's always on time.
Right.
She might not get it right then, but it's coming.
So I've learned to actually have more patience, humble myself, and actually, you know, okay, babe, I want this outfit or I want these shoes. He was like, okay, well, I can't get it right now, so just wait till another time. Okay. But don't forget, this the outfit and shoes I want. Go to this website and type this in. And I'm very detailed about what I want. And it doesn't take a rocket science. It doesn't take much to make me happy. Just send me the Bath and Body Works. It's the best feeling in the world. And really, I'm like the biggest Bath and Body Works fanatic.
Hey, Dexter, do Brittany need any Bath and Body Works?
No.
She
no.
Been there, but if she was there, she been there a while.
You say what?
I said she don't been there a whole lot, but if she was to take a stroll in there, she been there for a while. She like good sense and all that.
Tell her come on by the house and grab some.
Grab what? Grab what? Touch my lotion today if you want to.
You got a whole dress of food you ain't gonna share?
What you mean? Matter of fact, I love Brittany to death. That is like my road dog right there. I love Brittany to death because of her. You never meet somebody that has the same qualities as you or the same personality as you. So yeah, I give Brittany some lotion, but everybody else ain't getting no lotion. Now, Brittany, I love you to death, boo. And you know, if I got brand new bottles over here, so if you want one, you can come get one. Dexter, I might got some men lotion for you too. So before you want to sit up here and say Brittany can come get my stuff, let's be mindful. I have bought Chauncey Bath and Body Works too.
Oh yeah, it got some good stuff.
Anything you want to say about that?
Yeah.
You said what? I'm still not coughing up my Bath and Body Works. But seriously, y'all, you know, I've learned that my husband, and it can be any other husband, will do whatever it takes just to make his wife smile, even as if it's the simple things he does. Mm-hmm. You know, good morning, babe, how are you? Or have a good day today? Or how was your day coming along? This is before we got married, while we was engaged. Right. And now that we're married, it's still the same thing. So I actually learned that most couples and most marriages that I've seen don't value the small things the husband does for his wife. And I think the small things the husband does for his wife is actually more better than the bigger things he does for his wife. So I value the small stuff in the marriage versus the big stuff in the marriage.
You're a blessed man, Chauncey.
He said you're a blessed man, Chauncey.
Brittany won $1 million house.
Huh?
Brittany won $1 million house.
Oh shoot!
No, she like that.
Billionaires over there. Okay.
No, she ain't like that. She wouldn't even know what to do with all that space.
I would.
Maybe.
But guys, we are down to the last 15 minutes of the show. I have got a very insight on a wonderful marriage from a wonderful couple, my favorite couple on top of that. And, you know, I am very grateful and I'm humbled to have talked to you guys, which I love talking to Brittany anyway because, you know, it's like a breath of fresh air because you never meet a married woman that speaks beyond her years. And if you don't know what I mean, ask an older person. From back in the day, what that means when a woman that's married speaks beyond her years and have so much personality. It's like an old soul. It's like Brittany has an old soul in a younger body, if that makes more sense.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
You're welcome. Next, you are one lucky man.
I am. I was blessed, man. I am. Sometimes I look at it, I'm like, Lord, you awesome.
And I think in my head the same way.
Dexter.
Especially when she's taking a shower. I admire her.
Oh my God.
Hey, don't be feeling bad. I be trying to get him to marry me. I be walking right past him. Walk right past him.
It's PG, y'all. It's PG.
I'm sorry. That was PG. I didn't say if I had a robe on tonight. I said I walk past you. But y'all got. You say what?
It's okay. I was about to say it's okay, to talk like this. It's not nasty. This should be the new norm for the generation that's coming. They need to know that it's okay to talk like this in a marriage. It's okay. You can vibe like this in marriage. There's nothing wrong with this. God doesn't see anything wrong with this. It is nothing wrong with this. This is how you're going to teach them. If you're going to be closed-minded about it, how can you be teaching other people about it? You can't.
Yes.
You gotta have fun. And that's what it's for. It's for us. We have license for this, okay? So we're supposed to teach it the right way. And that's why I say, we need to teach them at a young age, this is what you're supposed to do. This is what you're not supposed to do. And they need to see how we conduct ourselves. If they see that marriage can be fun instead of being dreadful and depressing, they'll be more apt to follow marriage. And, marriage is an institution set up by God. So if you want to get into a marriage, then you first want to seek the one who set it up in the first place. So this is the goal, to make it more attractive to them. And once they find out it's not easy, but it's doable, a lot of people won't be so discouraged to make that step, the right step. I want to put that in there, the right step, with your mate. So, and it's great. It's a great, valuable thing. So, we need to have these conversations more. So we appreciate y'all for bringing us on. And
don't worry.
What do you say?
I said I'm gonna call Brittany and tell y'all to come over, because actually it's really great and a great idea to actually sit down with married couples and just talk versus where y'all coming on, which I really do appreciate y'all coming on. Like, I really do.
We appreciate y'all for having us on. The only thing I could take away from this, y'all, I would say, I wish that older folks would do what we're trying to do now.
Right.
They should have been had it.
Cause there are some older people, man, that got a lot of wisdom when it comes down to marriage, man. That if I can find a couple that I feel like really got that wisdom, I definitely would try to bring them on the show. Cause there are some older couples, 40, 50, 60 years, that can really tell you some things.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know, what was it? Was it last year or the year before we went somewhere and the older couple stopped us? And, they had been married for like a good amount of time. They said, we just want to tell y'all this. Do you remember that? Yeah. That we didn't know these couple from Adam and Eve. And they said, can we stop y'all for a second? They said, well, how long have you been married? I think we was just coming up on our 1 year. We were just coming up on our 1 year. And, we were dressed alike from head to toe. And she was like, you know what, I admire y'all because you don't see many young couples holding hands, smiling and, just enjoying your partner. She said, but baby, we've been married X amount of years. And, the greatest thing I can tell y'all is communicate. Have fun with your spouse.
Mm-hmm.
Be spontaneous.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's my opinion and my thoughts on it. All right, so Brittany, what's for breakfast?
What question?
What's for breakfast?
Oh, breakfast. Oh, shit, it's lunchtime. What you gonna get me?
I'm gonna get you. All right, you know what? Since I'm gonna make you some oxtails because I
thought she said she was cooking a crunch cake.
When?
Did you say that? What? Oh, I thought you said you.
Hey, look, I was about to stop the show and be on my way over there.
I need to pull up. My bad, Brittany. I heard you. I'm sorry.
Hey, I was about to pull up, but my hair still wrapped up.
Oh,
where you guys, it is down to my last 10 minutes of my show. I have thoroughly enjoyed y'all. Once again, as always, this time I would like for y'all to actually come over and we can sit down and actually chill out and, enjoy each other's company because, we all have busy schedules.
Yes,
so you guys, with that being said, I love y'all very much. Thank you for coming again. Ooh, and I got to sneeze. I won't pardon that. Oh, my gosh, I got to sneeze. Oh, ooh.
I appreciate you guys coming on the show, man. I definitely appreciate you guys. We definitely got to do it again, and we definitely link up again, man. We haven't linked up since the last time, man, and just have a good old time with one another. So we definitely gonna have to work that out.
Yes, sir.
And man, I love you all.
Brittany, make some crunch cake.
Enjoy the rest of your evening.
First.
I'm sorry. So what, Brittany?
I said I want my oxtail first. I love you and everything, but I just want food.
You know what, Brittany? I love you to death. Okay, I make the oxtails, you make the crunch cake, okay?
Okay.
Okay. See, we on board now.
All right, you guys.
Okay.
Say it again.
Go ahead. All right.
Now, what you say?
I said I want to try to take a pot home.
Trying to take a pot. So that means I got to make it a nice, decent size. Okay, I got you.
Des, I guess me and you left out then.
Yep. That's right, though. We found something.
We didn't get no invite, and they ain't said nothing about feeding us or nothing. They just said between them two.
Hey, guess what, though? If I shut the lights out here, she ain't cooking no crunch cake.
You said the lights out here. Nobody get nothing.
All right, you guys. Y'all have a nice evening, man.
Y'all have a good Saturday and enjoy the rest of each other. And we'll talk to y'all again.
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all.
Love you too.
All right.
Oh, oops, go ahead. Well, you guys, I'm down to my last 8 minutes of the show. You got to hear from our favorite couple. As usual, they've been on my show quite a few times. And so you actually got to hear about marriage and what it takes to make a successful marriage. Me and my husband want to thank you for coming again on listening to my show. I hope y'all have a wonderful Saturday. Y'all be blessed. I love y'all.
J. Pooh.